Hello everyone, this is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give you my Merlin Season 1 Episode 2 review. So, this episode, you guys, is really about the tournament that's happening over in Camelot. We have this villain for the episode named Valen. So, Valen enters the episode, we see him going through the streets, whatever, and he meets this mysterious, seems like some type of craftsman, but at the same time, a craftsman that deals with the magical arts. So the craftsman basically tells Valen that he constructed a shield for him that not only is strong, but also has the extra perks of having a three-headed snake that will come out basically at Valen's command whenever he acts it too. And that after he does that, basically, snakes are on his command, like I mentioned before, and he has a choice to either kill the opponent or give them a venom that will paralyze, his opponent. So after Valen hears this, Valen gives the order for the snakes to kill, the craftsman that crafted the shield. And after that, we see basically Valen head his way towards Camelot. So after that, we see basically Merlin and Arthur training, and Arthur's really beating the crap out of Merlin to the point that after the training session is done and Merlin meets up with Gaius, for lunch, all Merlin hears is literally rings and clangs from all the times he got hit by Arthur. So, after this, we basically, for the majority of the episode, we have turning fights between Arthur, and his opponent, and Valen and his opponent. So, basically, it's like a playoff type situation. Whoever wins advances to the next round, and so on and so forth. And eventually it's Arthur versus Valen. So, also in this episode, we know that Morgana is taking an interest in Valen, and she's trying to make Arthur jealous. Both Arthur and Merlin, which is a rarity in this case, that they actually agree on something. It's the fact that they both don't like Valen. They think something is off about him. They also think he's a little bit of a jerk, which says a lot since King Arthur's a jerk. But at the same time, he's like the good jerk, and Valen's just like the bad and evil one, and all that stuff. So basically, at some point during this tournament, Merlin's suspicions is confirmed when I believe he sees Valen call on the snakes from his shield once he has one of the knights pinned to the ground that bites, I believe, the knight around the neck. So after that, we see Merlin basically go through, I believe, where the knights put all like their armor and all that stuff. He goes there and he notices the snakes percolating from the armor. So I believe Merlin runs back to Gaius and tries to tell him, and it seems as though Gaius does believe him, but he's like, yo, where's the proof? You just can't tell King Uther that basically this knight's taking magic. He's gonna need proof, and if you don't give him proof, either you're gonna get hanged for even mentioning the thought, or you're gonna be a laughing stock. So Merlin took offense to that. He felt though guys didn't believe him. So either way, I believe Merlin, before he tries to get some evidence to prove that Valen is actually using magic, Gaius and him have a little conversation, and Gaius apologizes to him and tries to tell him basically what he meant. So Merlin gets his sword, and he's able to cut off one of the heads of the snake, killing him, and he gives Merlin the head of the snake, because I believe, not Merlin, I mean Gaius, the head of the snake, so that way Gaius is able to sort of create some type of antidote to the venom that one of the knights suffered from earlier in the episode, in which he was pinned by Valen's shield and was bitten by one of the three-headed snakes. So basically, Merlin and Gaius' plan is for the knight to awake and to tell people what actually happened to him. But before that could happen, I believe Valen summons the snakes, and they actually finish off the job, and they kill the knight. So when Merlin tells this to Arthur, Arthur does believe him, because at first he was like, listen, I may not like the guy, but I can't call him a cheater. And Merlin was like, listen, when have I ever lied to you? I'm deadly serious about this, and it's the truth. And that I don't want you to die in the tournament against this guy, because he knows he can't beat you, and he will do some drastic stuff, just like he did to that other night. So basically, Merlin takes his case to the court, and the king does not believe him, and Arthur's kind of embarrassed by this, and he sort of denounces Merlin basically in public, After that, we have Merlin and I believe Gwyneth talking about the whole situation, and Gwyneth saying that she believes Merlin, and she's trying to act, and she asks Merlin, so what he's gonna do about it. So Merlin comes up with this idea while looking at this dog statue on the left of them, and he basically is trying to work out some type of magic trick from his book they got from Gaius the previous episode, some magic charms in order to bring the dog alive. And I think in a way is kind of how, by bringing the dog alive by using those magical charms, he'll probably be able to bring out the snakes, from the shield with a magical incantation, in front of everybody. So that way, Valen can be exposed as a liar. So it takes him at least a few days to get it right. But before he gets it right, he has a conversation with Arthur again. And Arthur says that he does believe Merlin, but he can't quit because he'll look like a coward, and that he has royal duties to the realm and to his father, and he has to be a strong and noble knight, even if that means that he know what he's basically doing is walking into a death trap, essentially, if it gets to that point. During the fight between Arthur and Valen, it's a great fight. Before it happens, actually, I believe Morgana actually has a dream of Arthur dying. So before Arthur goes off to fight Valen, she comforts him, uncharacteristically, because from as we know, their relationship is kind of antagonistic, in which they do care for each other, but it's lots of la da 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 and all that crap. So during the fight, much like Merlin predicted, Valen gets desperate. He has Arthur pinned at some point, and he calls out for the snakes, but Merlin's able to recite his magical incantation at the right time, so the snakes not only come out of the shield, but they not only sort of peek out the shield, but they actually come out onto the ground, so it's exposed to everybody. So once this happens, Arthur's so this is basically proving that you are what Merlin said you are, a magic user, basically. So at this point, Valen's kind of caught off guard by this, but then he's screw it, whatever, I'm going to win this, even if I have to kill you. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's already exposed now. So Arthur is given a sword by Morgana, and he cuts off the two heads of the snake, killing them, and he ends the fight by stabbing Valen straight into his belly. Therefore, King Arthur wins the fight and the tournament. So the episode ends with Morgana and King Arthur having a little bit of conversation, in which Morgana says, "How does it feel that a woman saved you?" And King Arthur's like, "Well, technically I would have found a way to beat him anyways." And she's like, "No, it's because of me. You beat him by me giving you the sword when he was unarmed." And they went back and forth like usual. And after that, King Arthur apologizes to Merlin. And yeah, that's basically it, y'all. So if I miss anything, write some comments down below. I thought it was a great episode. I can't wait to review episode 3. Thank you guys for watching. Adios.